The end of the day could be all the way off the Jersey coast somewhere.
Right, so here we go. Tomorrow, unsettled weather across Florida with that storm, again, just becoming tropical storm strength. Wednesday, more weather for Savannah, Charleston. Notice, though, what happens on Thursday. Florida, you're almost out of this.
Almost.
Completely, I think, by Thursday night. So you should be fine on Friday. But here comes that front. That's going to pull the moisture back. We'll see where this winds up. Does it shove its way a little bit farther offshore, or does it hang back in this area and keep everything unsettled along the beaches? But here's July 4th. You know, that's just
bad timing there.
That's not pretty. And even the evening, we may get a little bit of a break, certainly from Wilmington southward for Friday night, but I'm not ready to make that call yet.
So, Jim, if you could punch over to the other source here, we do have a new tornado warning to tell everyone about until 1 a.m. Elkhart, Coseco, Marshall.
In St. Joseph County,
and
in Indiana.
There's two circulations here.
Yes.
I don't want that one. Let's do this. Two circulations right here.
We'll give you more details on these tornado warnings and the tropics right after this.
La Paz, watch out.
New Olympic Elite Advanced Stain and Sealant in 1 has revolutionary color-rich technology and 4-season protection package that penetrates deep to protect and beautify.
Dad, I'm hungry.
New Olympic Elite.
Dad.
New Olympic Elite. From America's most trusted brand since 1938. Only at Lowe's.
Who's he talking to?
I don't know, honey. I don't know. This is interesting. It says here that a woman's sex drive increases at the age of 80.
Helps reduce the risk of heart disease.
It seems that 80 is the new 18. Grannies, bless your heart, you are bringing sexy back.
Eat up.
Keep heart healthy. Live long. For a healthy heart, eat the 100% natural whole grain goodness of post-shredded wheat. Doctors recommend it.
She keeps you on your toes. You wouldn't have it any other way. But your erectile dysfunction? It could be a question of blood flow. Cialis Tadalafil for daily use helps you be ready anytime the moment's right. You can be more confident in your ability to be ready. And the same Cialis is the only daily ED tablet approved to treat ED and symptoms of BPH, like needing to go frequently or urgently. Tell your doctor about all your medical conditions and medicines, and ask if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as it may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Do not drink alcohol in excess. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, get medical help right away for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease or loss in hearing or vision, or any allergic reactions like rash, hives, swelling of the lips, tongue, or throat, or difficulty breathing or swallowing, stop taking Cialis and get medical help right away. Ask your doctor about experiencing Cialis for daily use and a free 30-tablet trial.
Looks like the Garcia's got a new car.
What'd they get?
I don't know.
Sure doesn't look like a Buick.
Buick.
I'm outside. Where are you?
I'm right here. I'm in the Buick.
I don't see a Buick.
Take a fresh look at Buick. It just might surprise you.
Oh, that's not a Buick. That's what I told him.
Wow. This is nice.
Oh, my.
Enjoy the dealer experience ranked highest by J.D. Power and get $12.50 Independence Day cash plus 0% financing for 60 months on the 2014 Enclave.
Bridgestone's new Drive Guard tires are engineered to take a puncture and go up to 50 miles.
We can drive 50 miles on a flat, and you have an app that makes nails pop up?
Yep.
We could rule the world. But I've got carpool at 3, though, so
that time
we could, mess with the world.
50 miles on a flat. Because if your tires keep rolling, your day does too. And there's no better place to get your Bridgestone Drive Guard tires than Firestone Complete Auto Care.
iHeartRadio is the one app where you can hear all your favorite live radio stations from all over the country. And you can create your own custom stations using your favorite artists. Millions of songs, thousands of stations, one free app. iHeartRadio is just that easy.
Welcome back as we continue to break into your regularly scheduled programming this evening to bring you the latest on the severe weather threat, as well as the new threat in the tropics. I'm meteorologist Nick Walker, and we have been watching the Chicago area this evening as heavy rain has fallen, lots of lightning, and Damaging winds up to 85 miles per hour have inundated the area. Debris and limbs blocking some roadways around the Chicago areas. And now, as we see these thunderstorms move eastward, we have warnings out for tornadoes here in Elkhart, Marshall, and St. Joseph counties, as well as back toward the west here in Pulaski County and in LaPorte, St. Joseph, and Stark counties. So watching all of this severe weather threat tonight is our own meteorologist Mark Elliott, along with storm tracker Jim Cantori. Guys, what's the latest?
Well, thanks, Nick. You know, we've been watching this line of storms, a lot of straight line winds, which can be damaging on their own, maybe some brief rotating winds of tornadoes, but the wind gusts, Jim, those are going to be the big story by the end of the night.
We've had 300 reports of wind today, damaging wind and wind gusts. That's far too many, unfortunately. A lot of damage, a lot of power outages. I think I saw at the height of this about 200,000. A lot of them in Wisconsin, southern Wisconsin. You've just got tons of trees up and through here. They're fully leafed out.
At least you did.
It's been wet. Yeah, well, you did. Now you've got mulch, all right, unfortunately in the making. And some of these are very, very large trees. So let's talk about the tornado warnings that we see here. We've got one little area of showers and storms that are going up out ahead of this. You've got, again, air that's flowing in toward this main line. So there's kind of a converging area, Mark, that's out ahead of this thing. But this is really where the damaging wind threat is off toward the west. And this is the part that we're most worried about, this area where the tornado warnings are. Not because we necessarily think there's going to be a big tornado on the ground. That's not the case here. But where we have that little spin, you've got an accentuation of the wind. And it's going to accelerate that wind a little bit.
It's as if somebody's spinning the basketball on their finger while pushing it and giving it a little bit more kick to make it spin faster.
And here's the kick right there. All right, there's one of the kicks, I should say. Let's take a look at this. Watch out around German, Indiana. This is going to come right toward you. Here's the rotation that Mark's talking about. You've got, again, this air flowing in, and then all of a sudden the back end of this thing decides to accelerate. You create the rotation, hence the tornado warning, but it's really this push, this kick that gives us that accentuated wind and tree damage and 75-mile-an-hour wind. So that's going to come right into German, Indiana. All right, that's just one notch. Let's look at this other one north toward South Bend. Look at that, right over South Bend, Sarah.
They're in a bad spot for that gust, huh?
Yeah, let's go north here. So this is just outside the tornado warning, but it's enough of a notch. So, you know, given, you know, there's trees and whatnot there, we're probably going to see some pretty strong wind going in. As a matter of fact, Sarah, you know what I'm going to do? Pop up the high-resolution radar. Let's do this. Let's take a look at the base velocity. So, and what I'm going to do is go into South Bend. Are we right here, Mark?
Yep, you got it.
All right. I'm going to look at some of these winds that are coming in, and that gives me 57 knots, 55 knots, 52. So we're probably, you know, up around 60, 65 miles an hour. It looks like 57 knots. So I'm looking at each into these little pixels, and I'm looking at the wind. But you can see the way it's bent out here, just to the South Bend area. That's where some of the strongest winds are. All right, here's La Paz. Look at that acceleration right through here. 68 knots, Mark. 68 knots at about 3,000, or actually about 1,900 feet. So here, if you're right in here, east of La Paz, we're probably seeing some real strong wind. That's why, again, if you live around the Bremen area, be on the lookout. This is probably lasting a while. 74 knots, 81 knots.
Yeah, 80 mile per hour wind gusts.
For the 68 knots, yes.
68 knots is 80 miles per hour.
68. Is it 80
in any case, we have some very gusty winds here moving through this area, and so we continue to see really up and down this whole line.
This is what scares me the most right here, what I'm seeing. That's a really strong wind. Plus, you know, if you look at the storm relative, you see how that's being punched? Look at that.
Absolutely.
That's where the rotation is. If we have a tornado, it's going to be just to the northeast of La Paz. Let's take the guesswork out of it. One of the things we have on here is called normalized rotation right there. Not rotating strongly, but that doesn't surprise me. The atmosphere doesn't say to us that we should have something that's rotating strongly, but it does say to me that we should have something that's accelerating toward the Bremen area. So some very, very strong winds, and they may last for a few minutes around La Paz. So expect extensive tree damage there around the La Paz and Bremen area from what we look at, and that's right in the meat of that tornado warning. So several couplets, several little areas of acceleration, one down toward Plymouth, and another one up here toward La Paz. That's exactly what we're looking at. This one's coming toward Bremen. the other one that's coming just to the north of Bourbon. So, Sarah, let's go back to the regular radar and time this out. We'll zoom out here a little bit and let everybody know. And then let's just do, for the sake of this, first, the worst part of the line, which is where we have the tornado warnings. And let's go back right along this highway here, east of South Bend and Plymouth, and then accentuate onto the east to Turkey Creek and Clear Spring. So this is where we've had persistent accelerations in the line. Okay, this is where I think the best chance for the strongest winds is going to be. Center, Napini, Goshen, Turkey Creek, Bloomfield. This is all coming your way with the respective times. This is where we've got surges within this bow that suggest either some rotation or some damage potential in through here. So let's zoom out now and time out the whole line, Sarah, which looks like it's going to work its way through Kalamazoo and continue on to the east. So basically just take where we have the severe thunderstorm warnings from north to south, and this will give us the whole line as we move it east. It should weaken per some of the high-resolution models east of Fort Wayne, but in the meantime, about 138, they expect a rude awakening. Jackson, Michigan, 208.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Overnight, partly cloudy with a slight chance of thunderstorms. Low 74. Chance of rain 30%. Tuesday, thunderstorms likely. High 85. Here's our 7-day outlook.
This is Kathleen. Setting up the perfect wedding day begins with her arthritis pain and 2 pills. Afternoon arrives and feeling good, but her knee pain returns. That's 2 more pills. The evening's event brings laughter, joy, and more pain. When Jamie says,
What's that, like 6 pills today?
Yeah.
I can take 2 Aleve for all-day relief.
Really?
And that's it.
This is Kathleen.
For my arthritis pain, I now choose Aleve.
Get all-day arthritis pain relief with an easy open cap.
Americans drink over 13 billion gallons of sugary beverages every year. Overconsumption may link to obesity, but there's a better choice. Drink more water, filtered by Brita. Clean, refreshing, nothing is better.
After 50 years of designing cars for crash survival, Subaru has developed our most revolutionary feature yet. A car that can see trouble and stop itself to avoid it. When the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety tested front crash prevention, nobody beat Subaru models with eyesight. Not Honda, not Ford, or any other brand. Subaru Eyesight, an extra set of eyes every time you drive.
Let's do the one thing that changes everything. And let's start at the place with more #1 choices than any other store. Get $5 off cans and $20 off buckets of select paints and stains. Let's do this. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
I'm a loving husband and a real good dad, but weeds just make me rattlesnake mad. Well, Roundup has a sharpshooting wand. I'm sending them weeds to the great beyond. Roundup. Yeah. No need to pump, just point and shoot. Hit them in the leaves and it kills to the root. Round fences, trees, even mulched beds, because the only good weed is a weed that's dead. Roundup. Yeah. Roundup. Yeah. With a one-touch wand.
Bridgestone's new Drive Guard tires are engineered to take a puncture and go up to 50 miles.
We can drive 50 miles on a flat, and you have an app that makes nails pop up?
Yep.
We could rule the world. But I've got carpool at 3, though, so
that time
we could, mess with the world.
So, Duke, what do you think for our new Bush's Baked Beans video game?
I think I'm getting the hang of it.
Now, roll that beautiful bean footage. Yes! Bush's Baked Beans are slow cooked according to our secret family recipe for big flavor. Enjoy Bush's Baked Beans.
This place, did for me what I couldn't do for myself. From the minute I walked in the door, they took care of me.
This place, these people, made me confident.
that this decision was the right one.
Hi, I'm Michael Cartwright. I was once in and out of treatment programs. Today, I'm living a happy, joyful life.
At American Addiction Centers, we have helped thousands of people beat their addiction. With treatment centers throughout the country, our staff of highly trained medical and clinical professionals are dedicated to one thing and one thing only, helping you beat your addiction, which is why we stand behind our promise. Call today and speak with one of our treatment consultants. The call is confidential, and we even verify your insurance at no additional cost.
This place saved my life, and I'm forever grateful for that.
This place is the answer.
This place is American Addiction Centers.
Kit is our way of saying thank you. Wild tiger numbers are at an all-time low. Please help save them now.
Numerous large trees are down across portions of northern Illinois and Indiana this evening. I'm Nick Walker as we continue to preempt your regular programming tonight to bring you the latest on the severe weather that has been raking the area. The latest, still a tornado warning out here for northern Indiana. Elkhart, Marshall, and St. Joseph counties under warning for the possibility of tornadoes. But we've already seen with this line of thunderstorms that just hasn't quit. 70 to 85 mile per hour plus winds doing all kinds of damage this evening. We also are going to be watching the coastline here as we head through the rest of the week. We have a tropical depression that could very well become our first named tropical storm of the season. And that, no doubt, is going to upset a lot of coastal communities and vacationers' plans here as they head out for their holiday weekend vacations. We want to get the latest now from storm tracker Jim Cantori and meteorologist Mark Elliott.
Thanks, Nick. Yeah, got to focus in on the tropics. It's that time of year. Severe and tropical seasons merging together and the first tropical depression of the year in the Atlantic.
Couple things come to my mind because I've been here a while.
Okay, go for it.
Number one, this is eerily close, this derecho, to the one that we had in D.C.
Just a couple days off from the anniversary.
A couple of days off from the anniversary of a couple of years ago. So just amazing. And now you've got a storm, which I don't think I've ever covered, a landfalling tropical system, which this potentially is on July 4th.
Ah.
All right, so this is going to be the first one in a while. All right, so here we go. Here's the latest on this. It'll be, of course, a 2 o'clock advisory since we have watches and warnings up at this point. So you'll have a 2 o'clock, so that'll be in from the Hurricane Center. But 1009, it's just been deemed at 11 o'clock a TD number 1. It is, of course, now 1 o'clock in the morning, so that new advisory is on its way in here very shortly. It is forecast to become a bona fide tropical storm. There's 60 miles per hour by Wednesday night, 70 by Thursday evening and Friday evening. And, of course, where this track is puts a lot of beach real estate under the gun with not just a little tropical storm, but one that is going to pile up water, that is going to produce squally weather, dangerous weather potentially, and a lot of you planning your Outer Banks vacation, in which I know the Outer Banks are going to be full this week, as they should be. It's a holiday week. May have to alter your plans, as you may up toward New England and Nova Scotia as well, heading into the weekend. All right. Let's talk about this.
Yeah, the National the National Hurricane Center makes that forecast, that swath, that cone,
right,
by looking at a whole suite of different models, and we have a view of them as well.
We do, and what we've done is taken the most reliable models and put them down here, and everybody's pretty much on board here, Mark, as to bringing this event eventually toward the north, keeping it off the coast, and then sliding it up very close. I mean, and this is the problem. Eerily close to the Outer Banks, 70 miles per hour. There's going to be overwash. So tropical storm watches now, Daytona Beach, Vero Beach. These will move north tomorrow. No question in my mind with the current track that they have. They may actually skip. You may not see the watches in through here just because of how far it may be offshore, just depending on where they put it. But either way, I think South Carolina, North Carolina, you're going to be in play here, given it's Tuesday, 48 hours. We'll definitely put this area. But here's why we had a tropical depression. Kaboom!
Yeah.
Showers and storms, all right?
So the brightest colors here, the coldest cloud tops, and also thus the biggest thunderstorms.
Right. Thank goodness this is not drifting on shore right now on the southeast coast of Florida, where we would have a massive flood issue on our hands. As a matter of fact, it's probably a pretty nasty night. It's safe to say in Freeport in the Bahamas, as well as into Nassau as well. So what's going on here? As we look at this radar, you see a lot of showers and thunderstorms. But where is the center? We saw it this afternoon kind of drift down toward the south. The storms haven't moved, but we know the center has.
Okay.
All right? So it's kind of in this area, and certainly the storms are blowing up enough to lead us to believe, when we look at the high-resolution radar, that this little spin, as ragged as it may be, is probably some semblance of a circulation center. All right?
Now, there's still some dry air to the north. We're not seeing that heavy rain north of the area yet, but we are starting to see some indicators on the east side that some of that moisture is trying to battle the dry air.
Yeah, you see, I mean, this is definitely being pulled to the north, at least holding its own. There's thunderstorms continuing in through here. Nice band right here helping to feed this center. And if we can feed it enough, we will lower the pressures, we will drop the pressures, and eventually we'll get a storm out of this in a developing system. So, for you and your planning, Florida, your impacts will be Wednesday and early Thursday, I think, for the most part. And then this, as it moves off toward the northeast, will take the impacts away from Florida. Here comes the cold front. There'll be showers and storms ahead of that. But now you've got a 60-mile-per-hour, possibly tropical storm at this point. So we should almost, you know, when we do these graphics, we'll probably put the tropical storm symbol on this. Now you've got something on Thursday evening and Friday morning that's going to come across the Outer Banks. Can't make the call on any kind of evacuations at this point. We'll leave that up to the emergency managers, but please, I advise you to listen to them and right into Friday, depending on where the storm goes, close enough to even impact the northeast coast.
All right, we'll be following the tropics carefully. You can always get the latest statement from the National Hurricane Center on weather.com, as well as any new warnings that come out, some new tornado warnings in Indiana.
Be safe, everybody.
There's no better place in the world to be is on the water.
I love it. I love fishing.
You're hunting for fish, and around the next cove, around the next point, there might be the mother lode. But there's no place for no mamas, boys.
Newfoundland, off the east coast of Canada, the birthplace of some of the most violent storms in the Atlantic Ocean. It's no place to make a living. For hundreds of years, this was home to one of the richest fishing grounds in the world. Then the cod disappeared, and so did most of the fishermen. But nobody told these guys.
Find some fish! Get us a paycheck! Oh yeah!
Fishing is in their blood. And they must depend on pure instinct to survive. They're the last of their breed.
Hang on, hang on, hang on.
Searching the treacherous North Atlantic for anything they can catch. But will centuries of know-how keep their nets full?
You think you can do this? You come and try. It looks like it's going to be a dynamite day.
Conception Bay, Newfoundland. It's day one of Capeland season aboard the Midnight Shadow for Captain Richard Gillett. Richard's 150 nautical miles east of home port Twillingate.
I can't sit around and wait for the Capeland to come to us. When there's fish to catch, I want to catch the fish.
His goal, catch 350,000 pounds of Capeland, worth $35,000, and do it in just 5 days.
Come on, boys, come on, come on.
It's ambitious.
Come on, Steven, bring him on.
Even for Richard's seasoned 5-man deck crew, led by first mate Juice Can Party.
I love fishing because I got a lot of freedom, and started fishing when I was 13, 14 years old, and just never ever got back out of it.
Come on, buddy, get up. Don't veg out the chair.
On this trip, a new face. Richard's 12-year-old son, Cameron, here to learn the ropes.
I can hear him. They're saying, catch me, catch me.
But not right now. He's seasick.
What kind of a sailor are you going to be at all? Go to the bathroom, go to the bathroom, go to the bathroom. When I was Cameron's age, I used to get quite sick too. Just work through it, keep working. There ain't no other choice.
"175 miles east."
All right, boys, we all ready? Come on, let's get on the go.
The MJ Nadine, Justin Bridger in command, is the first boat out on opening day of shrimp season.
We're like a little dot in a big ocean.
His goal, 60,000 pounds of cold water shrimp worth $36,000.
How's it looking so far, buddy? All right, now go.
The deck crew, led by Justin's brother Michael, counts on Justin to find the shrimp and get them a payday. Justin's just 29 years old, one of the youngest skippers in Newfoundland. The boat belongs to his dad, Guy, who pays the bills and expects a profit.
Let it go when you're ready.
Let's roll this, motherfucker!
See something nice.
Justin